What is up, YouTube? It is your boy Chris Lee TV. I'm setting up my camera right now. If you are, oh shoot, maybe not. No. So I said on Twitter that I'll be going live today at 6 o'clock. It is 6 o'clock, and here I am. Welcome to my live. I just wanted to come on here and answer questions that any of you guys may have about any of the stuff I post online. So there we go. All right, that's a little better. So we're live, and like I said, I'm gonna just be talking about some of the stuff that I've been talking about online on my Twitter, things that have been happening this week. As you can see by the title of the video, I was talking to this guy on Twitter, and he had told me that he just got his CDL at 19 years old. And he thanked me for my advice that I post on Twitter. I post a lot of content on Twitter about helping people get their CDL. So I thought it was pretty cool that this guy was 19 and he was really out here being a go-getter, really taking some initiative and really doing his thing. I could not be mad at him. So what I did was I bought a headset. I bought a Bluetooth headset. If you go to my Instagram stories, I bought a Bluetooth headset for this guy because I think that him showing that he's ready to take that initiative. I went and bought the headset for him because why not? I think like that kind of stuff should be rewarded. He's only 19. Like, I wish I had gotten my CDL at 19. So I'm just gonna come and put a post on Twitter. Hey, what's up, buddy? I'm gonna put a post on Twitter and just let people know that I'm live right now. So let's get this on Twitter. And that's there. So if you have any questions, like I said, this is just a Q&A. The kid, like I said, he got his CDO at 19. I think that's really cool. It's really awesome. It's really commendable. He's already had a job. I've been talking to him through DM. He's already got a job hauling in dump. He was offered a job today. Me and him kind of talked about it last night. I sent him my course because he was very curious about what questions to ask the employer. So I sent him a free course. I sent him my course for free. Like I said, I also got him a headset. I'm gonna mail that to him once I get a chance. But I just thought it was really cool that this kid did all that. So should I get my CDL through a sponsor program or save and pay for the course on your own? That's a good question. And what I would recommend, well, it's two ways of doing that. Okay, so let me answer your question. Should you get your CDL through a sponsored program? All right, so the benefits of that, right? So if you do have some money right now, you can save that money. So once you get on the road, you know what I'm saying, you'll have more money to spend over the road. When you start working, oh, hang on, let me get my phone battery so I can charge it. Sorry, my phone's about to die. So when you first get on the road, I mean, it's kind of hard. You don't get a whole lot of, hey, what's going on, Beth? You don't get a whole lot of money from your company, like, right? They might give you like $300, $400, $500 a week. If you get it sponsored, they'll, you know what I'm saying, they'll pay for your food, your hotel, and all that stuff. And they give you a check every week. So that's a good thing, right? Because if you're in a predicament, like right now, you don't have any money or stuff like that, um, you you have, like, you know what I'm saying, you have um, that safety net of going through a sponsored program. If you save up and pay, so with that sponsored program, you do have to work for them for at least a year to pay them back. So like that's one of the cons of that. Like you can't, if you do leave and you go somewhere else on a sponsored program, you still owe them that money. You'll still have your CDL. They can't take CDL from you, but you still will owe them whatever they charge to get a CDL. So that's kind of what the sponsor program entails. If you save and pay for the course on with your own money, that's a good thing because you kind of you don't have to worry about having to stay with the same company for a year. You can kind of bounce around and figure out what you want to do. A lot of people are tied to that sponsored company. They're tied to them for that year. And if another better opportunity presents itself, that may kind of halt that decision making or stop them from making that decision from taking a better company. You can still do it if you are going through a sponsored program, like I said, but you you owe them money, right? You're kind of indebted to them. So it depends on kind of also like where are you with your savings plan? I don't M4. Where are you with your savings goals, right? Like, are you looking at schools? What are the prices of the schools that are around you? I think the school that I went to, their prices were about $3,000. So kind of, you know what I'm saying? Those are some things to think about. Bev, hey Bev, what's going on? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. I'm just recently today, I've just been really good. Just been spending time with the family, um, cleaning out my storage, just trying to get everything organized and just stuff like that. Just going washing clothes and getting all the stuff on my truck so I can wash all my clothes out of my truck. I actually asked by my dispatcher to become a trainer for Jordan this week. With everything going on right now, I don't think it's the right time for me to become a trainer, so I turned down that opportunity, unfortunately. Yes, they do pay you more to become a trainer, but right now it's not about the money. It's more about being healthy and, you know what I'm saying, when I come home, making sure that I'm not bringing anything home that's going to harm my family. So me and my wife discussed that, and that's what our decision was. So thank you, Bev. I'm doing great. I hope you're doing well. Also, Gil, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. How much experience does Jordan require for new hires? Ooh, I like that question because they require zero experience, right? They will hire you. I think there was a guy, and I talk about this all the time. There was a guy in my orientation class. He had just got his CDL, and he had came to Jordan. He had no experience, and I believe he got paid just being fresh out of CDL school, 55 cents per mile, and that is like really high. Excuse me. I always have indigestion on these things, but 55 cents per mile is really high to come out of CDO training and just to jump in a truck. Yeah, you have to train, granted, for I forget how long you have to train with Jordan because I didn't train with Jordan. Uh, I went to Stevens Transport in Mesquite, Texas. Bev, Jordan is located in Natchez, Mississippi. I'll show you. Hang on one second. I probably should have worn my Jordan shirt. You know what I'm saying? Jordan carriers. This is stuff that they kind of give you, but there's their information. Jordan carriers. This is Natchez, MS for Natchez, Mississippi, and that's where they're located. Bulls fan, you're nervous. I feel you. I was definitely nervous, man, when I first got my Let's see. What did you say you were nervous about? Did Jordan really teach you how to secure lows well? Um, I want to say yes. I was taught well how to secure my loads. You start orientation Monday. Okay, Bulls fan, that's what's up. Man, be safe. Be safe, man. With everything going on. But I think that's what you're asking. If I was nervous, yeah, I was nervous. Getting on the bus to go to Jordan. You're kind of nervous. Yeah, I was too. I was nervous getting on the bus to go to Jordan and all that stuff. I mean, but I knew I had, you know what I'm saying? You have to do what you have to do. You can't see it. Yeah, it's really weird in that handwriting, but I'll put it in the chat. Natchez, Natchezms for Mississippi. So Natchez, Mississippi is where Jordan is located. But I wanted, like I said, the video title is like like I said, the guy he reached out to me on Twitter, and I really like just was really motivated by him. He never asked me. Well, I looked back in my DMs and we did kind of a conversation, but I get so many DMs. Unfortunately, I lose track of some people. Um, I know last week I had talked to Quincy and he said he was in my DMs too, but I didn't know that until he told me because, like I said, I get a lot of people in my DMs. What's the process of getting the TWIC card there? So the TWIC card is like one of the last things you do. Like after you do the hair drug test. I'm sorry. After you do the drug test, that is a urine analysis. Is what I took. Sorry to say that or confuse you. After you do the drug test, after you do your like training or whatever, after you take their tests, after you do the interview, after you do the physical, um, like the last thing that we did was to get that TWIC card. So they drove us like we drove for like an hour to this little building, and you know what I'm saying. What the person did was just they just signed us up on the computer for TWIC. I have my TWIC card. I have never used it. I know it comes in handy, but I have never used my TWIC card. If you have any questions, please just leave them in the comments. I'm reading right now. I'm reading everybody's comments that you're putting here. So if you're in here and you want a question to ask, go ahead and put it in the comments. Um, so M4, thanks for asking. I'm going to do it with my own money. That's the best bet. I'm not sure where you are from M4, but I didn't mention that you can get your CDL for free. That is how I got my CDL. I didn't have any money saved up. No I had no idea that I could get sponsored. But I did know about the workforce in Texas, and through them is how I got my CDL. Let me turn this camera so y'all can. There we go. Through them is how I got my CDL, and like you said, I don't have to be attached to no company. Exactly. If a good opportunity appears, exactly, it will take me longer because right now, yep, with the COVID-19, not making too much money, but trucking is not going anywhere. You're right. I think that where you're saying is facts. You're saying some facts right now. Do you think it's too late to start trucking, or are you good? I think it, like you said, it is not too late to start trucking. It is not at all. There are companies that are hiring like all the time. It's always a demand for drivers in trucking. You can go to Indeed, Monster, Craigslist, Facebook. You can go to all these job sites, right? There's always going to be a trucking job hiring, especially right now in produce drivers, medical transportation. Um, what I'm hauling still is construction materials, and that's still, you know what I'm saying. They're saying that there might be a slowdown, but we're still getting loads, right? We're still out here on the road. We're still making money. How much tarping do you do at Jordan? I work for Melton, and we tarp most of our loads, even those that don't necessarily need to be. Man, I see all Melton drivers out there all the time where I am. I see a lot of Melton drivers, Paul, TMC, all those flatbed companies where we load up. I see everybody's always out there. For Melton, though, well, to answer your question, Gil, thank you for asking it. But to answer your question, um, I don't tarp a lot. I can count on like both my hands how many times I've tarped at Jordan. Um, I did tarp this week. I did have a load tarp this week. I am going to. I had posted. I think someone asked me to make a video about that, and I did make that video. So I'm gonna edit it, and I'm gonna put it out hopefully this weekend. But I do have a video I'm gonna put out about tarping and how I tarp my loads and stuff like that. But like I said, Gil, I have not tarped more than 10 times at Jordan. Like it might be every 2 or 3 months before I tarp a load. And I'm just being 100% honest. Um, I'm from Michigan. You smoke, was looking to stop getting into trucking school and detox, or should I just try and find a job? So you're thinking to get into trucking school and then detox, and train like that. I'm gonna tell you what I did. I can't really not apply for you, but I stopped smoking before I got into school, and then like while in school, I was able to pass the urine analysis test. I knew I couldn't pass a hair follicle test because it had just been too recent of me using, um, but I looked at like kind of stuff online, like these online forums and stuff like that, and I was looking for somewhere that I could pass and do a urine analysis test because I knew I could pass that like no matter what, because it had been like whatever, what does it take, whatever, a couple months for it to get out of your system via fluid. So I knew I could pass that. So I found Stevens Transport, and I went, and actually in my trucking school, you have to take a urine analysis test. You might have to. I'm sorry if I'm misspeaking, but where I went to school, they made me take a urine analysis test. Um, so I did Stevens for a year, and after that year, I knew I would be able to pass a hair follicle test, right? So after that year, I did take a hair follicle test for JB Hunt. I passed the test. I didn't use it all within that year. I haven't used in like since I started trucking, so it's about 3 years, right? So take from that what you want. Like I said, I can't specifically answer your question because I'm not sure. Bev asks, is it best to go to the license bureau to get a CDL or trucking school? So yeah, that's a good question, Bev. Thank you for asking. So if you're going to go through the license bureau, like people who do that, they want to skip school. They don't want to be bothered with school. They go out, they take the test by themselves. They find someone who has a truck, or they buy or rent a truck. Actually, yeah, they'll rent a truck, take the test at the DMV with the rental truck, and then pass, and then go do their own thing. Like that's a that you can do that if you have the means. You have to like kind of learn how to do all the maneuvers and how to take the tests and stuff like that on your own. You can find some of that stuff on my website. I'm gonna put it here: www.chrisleetv.com. Well, that should not have happened, but on my website you can find like a lot of information on. I did it again, but that one's a link actually. You can like find a lot of information on how to study for that test, for the CDL test, and that should help you a little bit. So the first question that you ask, is it best to go to the license bureau? Like if you're gonna go, you know what I'm saying, do your own thing, rent the truck, study for the test by yourself, learn how to do the maneuvers by yourself, you can do that. It's a benefit of that is that you don't have to be in a truck with all the other students, and you don't have to wait your turn to get behind the wheel and do stuff like that. Like you're already renting a truck and you're doing your own testing and stuff like that on your own. And when you're ready to go, you go. So if you get the CDL through a trucking school, they teach you how to maneuver, teach you how to back. And like I'm talking about like a CDL training program. If this is a CDL training program, they'll teach you how to maneuver, how to back, how to study and pass the test, what you need to know, how to do pre-trip, post-trip, all that stuff. That's what a trucking training school will teach you. Um, Bulls fan says where y'all had to go get the man. Like I said, it was an office. Bulls fan. It was an office, and it was like far from Natchez. It was at least an hour. I think we actually. Well, I don't know if we crossed state lines because I know when we did our physical, Natchez is right next to the next state over. I think I don't have a map right now, but the next, like, it's right on the border of another state. And for our physicals, I know we cross state lines, but I don't know if you cross state lines because we drove for like an hour to go get the TWIC car at the office that we went to. Man, we kind of then we drove back. Um, but I don't know exactly where we got the TWIC in Mississippi. I'm sorry, I don't know that. You're welcome, T. Um, was it Louisiana? It might have been because like it's like right you cross the Mississippi River and then like you're at Bev. I need help with the test. So I put the blog out. I don't know. I would say like if you're at a school, Bev, like kind of see if there's somebody there that'll help you. Cause like I said, I put a blog out. And if you go to my website, I put out like a how to study and pass for the CDL test. And I did that actually the last time I spoke to you, Bev. I did that and put all that together because I thought it would help because you asked a good question and I wanted to make sure that if somebody else asked, then I'll be able to give them like a good answer. So check that link out. That is a post to the blog about how to study for the CDL written test. Bulls fan. I know it's a crazy question, but was it police? No, there were no police. You know what I'm saying? It was just a regular like building. You go in the building, it's an office. It's a lady behind some glass or somebody behind some glass. You know what I'm saying? They're just like a receptionist or something like that. You talk to the receptionist, you know what I'm saying? Give them whatever they need. You kind of chill, wait for the person in the office to call you back. They ask you a couple questions about, it's been so long, but they ask you some questions. Probably like, you know what I'm saying? If you, I don't know, probably trafficked or anything like that, traffic drugs or some stuff. I don't know. That's probably what the questions are about. I forget. It's been long. But you know what I'm saying? Once you're done asking the questions, you gotta sign some paperwork. You put your thumbs on, you get scanned, I think, and then you're out of there. So I think they're just putting you into a database, um, more or less. You put into the database because you're going into these shipping yards, right? So they can keep track of you. That's just kind of the rundown of what they're gonna do. It's nothing really too wild though, Bulls fan. Um, once you get over there into that office, it's nothing really wild at all. I appreciate the thumbs up. If you are still in here, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up question. If you have any questions, please, whatever questions you have, go ahead and ask them. I'm going to jump over into my Twitter and answer some questions that they had on Twitter. Um, People were asking me a lot of stuff this week. My Twitter was being real active. All right, here's one from Few Chains. Quick question. Okay, this was about my notary when I was a notary, or I'm still a notary, but he said, "Did you notarize on your own, or did you work with a title company?" Um, it's not really trucking related, but I'll answer it. Yes, I did. I notarized with the real estate agent. I was working with the real estate agent. Um, he asked also if I was still a notary. I need to get into dispatch. This is from Vino. He said I need to get into dispatch. Any free books or podcasts on that you can refer me to? And I believe I told him that YouTube is a great resource for learning how to dispatch. The Trucking Hustle podcast is a great resource also. So lots of great informational content on the Trucking Hustle podcast. So like I said, YouTube and just finding other people in the industry that you're trying to get into, and just trying to see if like what they offer, if any services that you can kind of like pick their brain if they have a consult or if they have anything like that. Aptitude test. I think there is, I don't know if they call it an aptitude test, but there is a test. I'm getting some experience with Melton. Ingalls go Jordan. I'll be putting you as my referral. I do appreciate that. Um, and also, let me tell you that, Gil, I don't do over the road driving, so let me not misinform you. I have not tarped no more than 10 loads at the moment. You know what I'm saying? My next load will be like my 11th load, but I don't tarp often. I don't know about the over the road drivers, how many miles they run, how often they tarp. They do different types of loads than I do. I'm on a dedicated account out of Oklahoma, and I don't run a whole lot of miles like these OTR guys. I do the same exact thing every week. Like, it's so routine. I almost got bored with it, but the money is just too consistent. But with the OTR guys and with us on the dedicated account is like two different worlds. It's even with the dedicated in dump guys that work for Jordan. Like, it's two different worlds, right? Um, they don't even. I don't think they run as many loads as we run during the week, but they still get paid pretty well, is what I've heard. Um, and it's just like, you know what I'm saying. I can't answer a question that I don't know, so I don't know what the miles are looking like. Yeah, I'm on the dedicated account. So could I talk about that for a bit? What specific questions do you have about the dedicated account? I'll go kind of break it down like every week. So it's people like all over Texas that are on this dedicated account. It's people that are, you know what I'm saying, live south of Dallas, people that live almost in Houston, right? They drive to Oklahoma every Sunday, every Monday, you know what I'm saying? Everybody starts off in Oklahoma, and then we'll get our loads from dispatch, um, pick them up out of Oklahoma, take it wherever it needs to go. Um, Last week, it was a lot of stuff going to Dallas and like just different parts of Texas. So once we drop that load off, you know what I'm saying, we'll send in our information to get in for the next load. Sometimes we'll pick up scrap, so we'll build board kits and go to the recycle yard to get scrap metal. So if you go on my channel, I think have a video where I built a board kit for on the flatbed trailer. So we'll build a board kit. It's just like a box that you build, and you put they put scrap metal at the recycle yard. Like, they'll get a bulldozer, scoop up scrap metal, dump it on our trailer, and that's what the in dump guys at Jordan, they pretty much pick up scrap, but sometimes they need help. So if I'm not picking up scrap, then I'm taking my empty trailer that I've just got unloaded back to Oklahoma to drop that off and get a new load, or get a load live loaded on the empty trailer that I'm bringing back to Oklahoma. Then I'm going out again, dropping off that load, coming back, dropping off another load, coming back, dropping off another load. Sometimes we do go to like Missouri. Sometimes we do go to Arkansas. Sometimes we go to Houston. Sometimes we go to Colorado. This is like once in a blue moon, like once a week. We do like a long load, and it's still pretty, like, you can get there within your, you know what I'm saying, you can get there within a day and get back, you know what I'm saying, and still do pretty well for the week. But it's not ever anything that's too crazy. I think the craziest load I took was a load out to Phoenix, Arizona, and that was a couple weeks ago. But we don't do stuff like that on the normal. It's not normal for us to do stuff like that. Um, I think, I don't know if they have a Mississippi dedicated Bulls fan, but Bev, you said, what's a dedicated account mean? So um, I'll just compare it to like OTR, or over the road driving. When you're over the road driving, you go to all 50 states, right? You're gonna from California to Florida to New York to Seattle, Washington, right? Um, And I did that my first year and a half at Stevens Transport. I went local at JB Hunt. So what local is that you're getting home every day. You get home on a local route. On a dedicated route, sometimes you get home every day, but guaranteed you'll get home on the weekend, right? You don't, and then you do like the same route every day. Local too, you might do the same route. I did the same, you know what I'm saying? I was going to the same places when I was local, and I was home every day. With Jordan, I go to the same places, and that's I think what the dedicated means. I'm dedicated to specific um, these specific shippers and receivers. I go to them. I want to do no touch freight. So you would want to go do like um, dry van or refrigerated. Those are usually no touch, drop and hook. Those fan. I did OTR, CRST, but I'm going to Jordan to get closer to home. Right on. I understand that. Stay home on the weekends, 80% loads under I-40. Yeah, I heard that as well with Jordan. I don't know how true it is because I've never driven over the road. So I don't know what that looks like for those over the road drivers. Um, but if they say I would I would I would believe it because Jordan, you know what I'm saying, they're a pretty good company. They're really transparent. I feel like they're really transparent. So I would definitely if that's something that Jordan said and that's something that you want is to get home on the weekends or 80% of your weekends, then I think that would be a good move for you. My recruiter told me I would be home every weekend, and I've been home every weekend. No lie, I've been home every weekend. Except for when I went to Phoenix, and that was, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to do that load. So I thought it was like, it'd be fun to go out, and I haven't been driving OTR for like over a year. So I thought it would be cool to kind of go out and get on the road and kind of, you know what I'm saying, see what I was missing. So I'm back on Twitter now looking for questions. If y'all want to keep asking questions, go ahead and put them in the comment box and I'll answer them. Um, all right, let me come back to y'all. I'm not seeing a whole lot of questions right now. How do you deal with downgrades? That's the only thing I'm still having problems with. What is it? Oh, a downgrade like going down a mountain? I would drive an automatic truck, so it's just really putting on um, my engine brake and then just kind of feathering the brake pedal while going down. You know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I don't go over the speed limit. So even at the top of the hill, you know what I'm saying, at the top, I'm not trying to go super fast down. So I start braking a little bit immediately. I don't let the RPMs get too high, and I don't let my speed get where I'm uncomfortable going down grade. So say the speed is 70, I don't care. I'm gonna try and go 60 or 55 down that hill. So that's where I try to like keep my my speed at. And then if I'm going too slow for other people, you know, I'll turn my hazards on or something. But I'm not about to speed up and be uncomfortable going down that hill. I would like to do local and no touch freight. Local no touch. Um, I don't know. I mean, trucking is very physical, and with local, like the local jobs that I'm thinking about, maybe like a dump truck, because I know like Budweiser and FedEx and UPS and like just stuff like that, you're gonna have to touch something. But I mean, I'm sure there's a job out there for you, but it's really like local and no touch. You asking for, I think JB Hunt is what I think I did that with JB Hunt. I didn't touch nothing. I didn't touch nothing. It was all drop and hook. So the more like local and no touch, you might do drop. It'll be like more drop and hook. You'll have to get out the truck and you know, drop the trailer, hook up to another trailer. It wasn't really touching freight. With flatbed, you can touch flatbed so much. I think me and Bullsman had a conversation about this. Like I don't like just sitting in the truck. I want to get out the truck and I want to move around. And I want to get active and do something because it keeps my mind from, you know what I'm saying, just keeps me active, keeps me fit, and I really enjoy, like, Jordan is probably like one of my favorite companies that I've worked at. It's better to get out the truck and keep you in shape. Yeah, man, you get to get out the truck, you know what I'm saying, breathe in some fresh air, get active. Strapping and tarping, I don't mind them. Like I said, eventually you're gonna get good at it. You're gonna get faster at it, and when you do that, right, you can get more loads. You can get more money, and it just takes time. But I like getting out the truck. I like strapping down loads. I like hauling these oversized. I didn't say that, but I like hauling these oversized loads. Like most of my loads are oversized on this dedicated account. I say 8 out of 10, no, probably 9 out of 10 of my loads on this account are oversized loads. Somebody send a message. Oh no, it's not. That's nothing. So what other questions do y'all have? Let's see, Bulls fan. Was it hard for you to learn the weight distribution? Telling a guy where to put stuff on the trailer. Actually, we don't. Like I said, 9% out of 10. So 90 times out of 100, we're hauling oversized loads. And I'm not talking like oversized width, I'm talking oversized length. So if I have a 53-foot trailer and I have a 60-foot load on it, it's really no telling them where to put that load, because due to FMCSA guidelines, you can only put like I think 3 feet in the front overhang and 4 feet in the backs on the corners of your truck. And in some cases, we do have to get permits. If the load is long enough, we'll get permits. And depending on where we're going, like all of our Kansas loads, we have to get those permitted. So my dispatcher will send me like the paperwork for a permit, and I have to like follow the guidelines of the route. I can't get off that route because, like I said, just Kansas is like that with them oversized loads. You can't drive after like 6 p.m. or before like daylight and stuff like that. But with the oversized loads, like you can't really tell them where to distribute the weight because there's really no room, right? They're taking up not only the trailer, you know what I'm saying? You got overhang on the front and the back. So it's like where will I tell them to put, you know what I'm saying, the trailer or the load, yeah, where will I tell them to put it? Um and I'm not gonna just like blow the question off because sometimes I do get loads that um are like they weigh too much. They're over 80,000 pounds and they're not like an oversized load, or even if they are oversized load, if it's over 80,000 pounds, I have to tell them to take off some of the weight. But still, with the oversized load, it's not, you can't like move it forward and move it back to figure out um, stuff like that. And this is only, like I said, this is only from my experience on this dedicated account. And over the road guys might be doing different stuff. I know, like I was getting a load out of like South Texas, and I was talking to one of the over the road guys, and he was like, "Yeah, make sure you go up to the scale to weigh this load out because sometimes they load you, you know what I'm saying, in certain ways." And I was just like, um, where I'm going, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna pass the scale, right? But it's still good to get on the scale and figure out where your weights are. Um, but yeah, it's not hard to learn weight distribution. It's the same as any other like industry inside of trucking. You know what I'm saying? Your steers can only hold so much. Your drives can only hold so much. Your tandems can only hold so much. So that doesn't go away with flatbed. Are you on salary or still get paid? Right, Bulls fan. Um, well, no, I think it was. I thought it was. Yeah, you're right. Right, Bulls fan. That's correct. That distribution is right. So it's the same. It's the same over here in Jordan. And it's always good to get your load scaled out. Like if you're driving OTR, because you know what I'm saying, you're more susceptible to getting pulled over into a scale house. Like the scale we go by, they're they're pretty familiar with us. I've never seen a Jordan driver get pulled into a scale in the DOT. They don't really kind of, you know what I'm saying, they don't really bother us on our route, but we do get scaled out before we take off with every load. Um, are you okay? Are you on salary or you still get paid cent per mile? I'm not on salary and I don't get paid cent per mile. Gil, I get paid a percentage of the load. I get paid a percentage of every load that Jordan is paid, right? So if Jordan gets paid, you know what I'm saying, $1,000, I get a percentage of that $1,000. I'll tell you the percentage in 1 second. But yeah, I don't get paid on salary or per mile. How much do you make on average, if you don't mind me asking? I say between 900 and $1,000 a week is what I average. Um, Let me see if I can pull up a what you call it. I'm gonna pull up a pay stub on my inbox if they'll let me do it. And so if you look at my Instagram, I have like a one of my pay stubs on there, and we get paid 27% of every load. So I'm looking at like one of the loads was 300, and I got paid like $120 off that load. But yeah, I get paid on percentage. So I'd rather get paid. You know what I'm saying? I actually think it's really it depends on like if you're driving over the road, I think it's good to get paid per mile. If the miles are there. If the miles aren't there, then they offer percentage, then I think percentage is good. But yeah, there's pros and cons to both percentage and per mile. If you're getting paid per mile, you want to make sure that the miles are there. If you're getting paid percentage, then you want to make sure you're getting paid you know what I'm saying, a good percentage of the load. You want to make sure that you can see what the load, how much the load is, just so that you're aware that you are being paid properly, right? Because if they don't show you what percentage of the load you're making, and they're just telling you, then you don't really know if it's true or not. So what other questions do y'all have? Someone on Twitter asked me to point them in the right direction for dispatching. I told them to go to YouTube. So when I started dispatching, that's what I started doing. I was going on YouTube and I was just like really kind of reading in between the lines. I found this page called RBBS Logistics. Let's see if I can find it for y'all. RBBS Logistics, and they were giving like a lot of game out before you had to like um, get into their Facebook group or whatever. And I think it was like a paid Facebook group. RBBS, yeah, Logistics Learning. So they have like some real good information on their YouTube channel. I'm going to put this link in the chat so y'all can check that out if you're interested in dispatching. You know what I'm saying? You can get a lot of information from them on YouTube before you really start getting into anything like crazy. Dispatching doesn't cost any money to do. You know what I'm saying? You just need a load board, a phone, a laptop. Just call truckers, ask them if they need loads. You're pretty much just dispatching them, something they can do for themselves, but some people don't like doing it. Some people, you know what I'm saying, don't know how to do it, and there's money to be made doing it. Government contract as a first job. Somebody asked me about my government contract that I had. And if that was my first job for my company, the first thing my company did, my trucking company did was at least 2 trucks from Stevens Transport. Actually, at least 1 truck from Stevens Transport, I think. That's what my company did. You should be owner op. I'm working on it right now. I think that what kind of gets me away from doing owner op, Bulls fan, is the overhead. Honestly, like there's a lot of overhead, a lot of, you know what I'm saying, maintenance, fuel, insurance. Um, it's just if the taxes, you know what I'm saying, tolls. It's a whole lot of maintenance and stuff like that you have to take care of. And if you're not aware of that, then you know what I'm saying, it can go south really quickly. And that's what I learned when I leased my trucks from Stevens Transport. Like I learned about how much really goes into being an owner operator. So that's why I kind of went into like learning how to be a freight broker and how to dispatch, because there's less overhead. You know what I'm saying? I can be a freight broker with what I have, what I'm using right now, my laptop and my cell phone, and just you know what I'm saying, make phone calls all day, and you know what I'm saying, be here with my son. But I'm still kind of working on which one I'll be doing. Um, Without having good credit, when I did start my freight brokerage, the insurance was not something I could afford, right? So that's kind of where I'm at right now in my journey. Like I said, man, I appreciate that. It's just with me getting into the industry, there wasn't really a whole lot of people who I could get information from. So I just like started really just getting on YouTube, just diving in and like just doing everything I could to learn about the industry. And you know what I'm saying, it paid off. It paid off. It paid off. So one thing I knew about the industry is that I had to have, you know what I'm saying, some money saved up. I had to have some good credit. You know what I'm saying, at least some business credit and all that good stuff. So I started my business. I'm getting my credit straight right now, about to start working on my business credit. So even if I do get a truck, you know what I'm saying, I'll have money saved up from Jordan. I'll have a couple credit cards where if I have any emergencies with my truck, then boom, I got a credit card. If I didn't, you know what I'm saying, if my savings, it shouldn't hurt my savings, but if my savings goes too low, I'll have my credit card to rely on, and then I have like business credit, business lines of credit that I can rely on. So I'm just trying to set all that stuff up, because if on this next go round, it's gonna be like playing really like the big boy game. Like, it's not Stevens Transport passing me a truck and saying, "Hey, go drive." It's really me getting my truck. You know what I'm saying? Finding a broker, finding loads on my own, which I can definitely find loads on my own. That's easy. I can dispatch myself all day. But you know what I'm saying? I want to make sure that I set myself up the right way with my credit and stuff, to where once I do like a year or two, if I do get behind the wheel, once I do a year or two, I can start building my fleet. Like, it's hard to do that when you don't have credit, and like you just have cash. You know what I'm saying? It's not easy to do that without having good credit. And you know what I'm saying? That's just where we at right now. And I appreciate y'all watching, because I'm trying to let y'all know everything that I'm doing, because I know like a lot of people out there have those aspirations of being an owner op, of being, you know what I'm saying, their boss, being your own boss and getting stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying, I'm just doing it the way I think it should be done. Like, you can go to Lone Mountain, you can go to a bunch of other um, outside leasing companies. You might have to have like 2 years of experience in trucking, but it's like a no credit check. They'll give you a truck, and you can get like started. You can lease it on to like Landstar or something like that. But you know what I'm saying, if you don't have a good maintenance account, if something happens to that truck, you don't have good credit, you don't have any credit cards you can use to make those repairs on that truck, then you know what I'm saying, you learned a valuable lesson. Hopefully you come back after that. But that's something I don't want to do. I don't want to learn. I've already learned my lessons, right? I want to make sure that the next thing I do is, you know what I'm saying, puts me in a line to get a bigger amount of money than I'm making right now. I don't want to just make, you know what I'm saying, $1,000 per week. I want to have a fleet where I'm making at least, you know what I'm saying, 5 to 10 grand a week. And I know that's a lot of money from where I'm at right now, but um, obviously we're here for a reason. We're all getting our CDLs for a reason, because we know the possibilities of this industry. We know that they're pretty much, the sky is the limit. Like, there's a lot of money out here to be gotten, and I understand that. So I want to do things the right way so I can get the biggest bag that I can. Because I don't, you know what I'm saying? I've already played when I was at Stevens Transport. I played, you know what I'm saying? I played the boss. I did things that help me now, that are helping me right now. Like, I got my LLC, and you know what I'm saying, I got the operating agreement and articles of um, whatever organization. Like, I did all that stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, it was just like, I just wanted everything set up the right way. But you know what I'm saying, you have to have money to do that kind of stuff. Like, if you're gonna get a lawyer and stuff like that, they charge like 500 per whatever. You know what I'm saying? I paid a lawyer $500 to do my operating agreement, right? I could have did it myself, but that was something that I had no clue about doing. It's all good. Like, I still have my LLC. I filed taxes on my LLC for 2 years. So that sets me up. I have some business bank accounts for my LLC. So I'm setting myself up to get, you know what I'm saying, loans and stuff like that. But I'm taking my time. I'm not in a rush. Like I said, I was in a rush at Stevens Transport. I bumped my head a couple times. I learned some lessons, but here we are right now, and I know um, everything's going to be better, because I kind of got the knowledge that I needed to point me in the right direction. Recently got your CDL. Hey, what's up, Charm? Charm, what's up? Is it better to work for a company or get into the leasing business? So, like I was said earlier, Charm, sometimes with these leases, they want you to have 2 years of experience. I know Lone Mountain and another leasing company that people have been talking about. Let me see if I can get on my Twitter and find this information for you, because I had just wrote a tweet about it. Um, And like people on Twitter, I hope if y'all have Twitter, follow me on Twitter at ChrisLeeTV3. I'm gonna put the link to my Twitter in the chat so y'all can follow me. It's a lot of game on my Twitter, like not just from me, but from like fleet owners, from owner operators that are cool. You know what I'm saying? Not people. I don't do Facebook because you know what I'm saying. Facebook really, it's really a cesspool. You know what I'm saying? You might say, "Hey, I wanna get my CDL on Facebook," and people would be like, "Well, you're dumber than a box of rocks, aren't you?" You know what I'm saying? It's no point in getting your CDL and stuff, whoop de whoop. Like, I try to stay away from that stuff because obviously y'all know it's a point, it's a reason. Like, it makes sense to get your CDL. All right, just give me 1 second. I'm gonna tell y'all what these leasing companies that people have been pointing me to. Okay. All right, so here we are. I found the thread. So Wasatch Leasing, Lone Mountain, and I think uh, it was another one that this guy put me on. LRM. He said LRM and Lone Mountain have them beat as far as Wasatch. With a weekly payment to your truck or weekly payments that you have to pay and stuff like that. I'd say do your research. I'm gonna put the link to this thread if y'all want to look at this thread. These are the leasing companies that we talked about on Twitter. Um, so what that means is like these third-party leasing companies, you don't have to lease at a mega carrier like Swift or Pam or nowhere like that, because once you leave, you know what I'm saying, you leave your truck with them. With these third-party leasing companies, you take your truck, you go wherever you want to go, wherever they're paying good money for freight. You know what I'm saying? That's primarily where I want to go. Charm, I appreciate you, man. I hope y'all, thank you for hitting the like button. I see 3 likes. So I really appreciate that. That's what life's about, bro. Bumping your head and getting back up. For sure, I've done that plenty of times. Man, all through life, man. I was just a kid bumping into crap, man. I got the scars to prove it. I think that's the fun part, right? That's what's fun to me is like um having like a goal for myself and then like doing whatever it takes to see if I can do it, right? Just being curious to know like if I can or if I can't, like, and I'm not gonna really give up until I figure out that you know what I'm saying, that I'm right because I know I can do it. But just getting the knowledge that, you know what I'm saying, that I need to make that next move is and having patience. That's a huge thing, especially in trucking. Having patience is like crucial. But if y'all don't have any more questions, I'm gonna go ahead and shut off this live stream. I hope everybody is being safe out there, washing your hands, doing all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Just like whatever social distancing. I hope you got enough toilet paper to wipe your ass. Because you know people hoard toilet paper. But I'm gonna just head out. Hey, I appreciate everybody that came to ask questions. Bev, Charm, Bulls fan, like for real, all of y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Gil, thank you for coming to my, you know what I'm saying, T, M4, all y'all. Buddy, Babe, um, if y'all have any questions, you know what I'm saying, just hit any of my DMs. I want to go live and, you know what I'm saying, I want to talk to y'all, man, because a lot of y'all are doing some of the same things or want to do some of the things that I've already done. And I'm not like I don't think I'm a guru. I'm just somebody who has, you know what I'm saying, like you said, Bull, I bumped my head. And with that kid that's 19 years old, man, he got a lot of head bumping to do, but he's been paying attention to me, right? And I just anything that I learned, I try to put out there because I didn't see a whole lot of that when I started. So him not even talking to me, just looking at my Twitter and like stuff that I post, man. He figured out how to get his CDL. Actually, I'm lying. He did talk to me, but I forgot that we had talked. It had been a while since we talked. But you know what I'm saying? Just a little short conversation we had. You know what I'm saying? He showed initiative. He has ambition. he got his CDL, you know what I'm saying? Even though people will hear that you can't get your CDL unless you're 21, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not 21 yet." And then like life will happen. You know what I'm saying? You can get your CDL at 18, but it's going to be a class B CDL, and you're going to have to do intrastate driving. That means you can't go outside your state to deliver no loads, but it's still money to be made. Like Bev, you were saying that you want to do local and you don't want to touch freight. Like that would be like a, you know what I'm saying? That's like a class B license if you're not old enough to get a class A. That's a class B license job right there. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get on here and talk about that kid because he got me blown away, man. Like I said, I bought him a headset. I'm gonna send it to him. I think that's some cool stuff. Like it's how many 19-year-olds do y'all know? It's a dude. Oh yeah, or Bev, right? Bulls fan, or she could drive buses. Right now, not school buses because them schools are shut down. I don't know. I don't know. Bulls fan, did you take a Greyhound? Tell me about that, man. Did you take a Greyhound? Or are you taking a Greyhound to Jordan carriers? I know. I said I was gonna get off, but I had that question because bet. Right on. Hey, I feel that for real because that Greyhound ain't no joke. I took the Greyhound when I went to what you call it. I took the Greyhound and I was like, man, I'll never do this again. But you know what I'm saying? I think that it's really cool that that kid reached out to me, you know what I'm saying? And he got his CDL. It's a lot of people who are right now, they're getting out the truck, you know what I'm saying? Because they're afraid of what's going on right now. But this 19-year-old kid, like fresh out of high school, just showing initiative, just taking ambition, and just like this, like you know what I'm saying. Y'all tell me who you know getting the CDL at 19. Like I didn't have that mindset, right? But what truckers are needed right now more than ever. I didn't have that mindset at 19 to get a CDL. I didn't even have the knowledge, right? So I'm gonna keep being like a resource. I'm gonna keep dropping blogs. I'm gonna keep making videos. I'm gonna keep asking y'all because y'all actually help me make more and better content. I told y'all I dropped a blog because Bev asked me a question. I remember I did a live and Bev came on and she was like, or Bev was like, I need help trying to learn for the test, practice test, and I was like I can't do anything, but what I actually could do something. I wrote a blog, and then you know what I'm saying. At least 100 people have gone to my website and and read that blog. So I'm sure it's helping people pass that test. There's a lot of practice tests for the CDL test. That's what I used. This will help me get my CDL. But like I said, I don't want to hold y'all up. I've been on here for about an hour, so y'all take it easy. Y'all be safe. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying. I appreciate y'all. I really do. So deuces.